Hello everyone, Giant Beard JJ here. Welcome to my channel. And today we're going to unbox and take a first look at the ROG Maximus Z690 formula boards. So yeah, I know there are a lot of choices of motherboards out there, and for this one, for the formula ones, it's always have a the EK integration into this, and also it has very fancy LCD screens. So for me, it's something that I really like, because I would like to monitor my hardware temperatures, while I'm doing things. So I know that what's going on with my system, and we want to make sure that everything is correct. So that's why it's really nice to have a little fancy LCD screen on the motherboard that can monitor the hardware all the time. So for this Z690 formula boards, you can see that there's a LCD screen actually on the first M.2 slot on this motherboard, and also you can see that the two ports that actually go through the VRAM. So if you do some overclocking and your VRAM get really hot, if you have water cooled on the VRAM, it's going to greatly help you with that the thermal bottleneck that could potentially stop your overclocking. So yeah, and also the very most important reason that driven me to buy this board is the aesthetic. So these days you don't see like white motherboards often, especially like full armor painted in white in this case, but at least for like premium motherboards. So you can see that previously for last generation of X570s, we actually have the LCD screen right here, which is like the intersection of the VRAM and also the USB and other ports down here. And for this generation, it moved the LCD into the M.2 slot, and also have the entire block here to show new RGB stuff, which is pretty cool. I like these kind of design aesthetically, because you do see if you have like most of the cases right now actually you can see a lot of the components inside. So having a really nice aesthetic in there, especially like all white design, it's going to make your build looks really nice. So that's why I'm choosing this board. And also, as you guys might know, that I'm really a ROG fan, so this is definitely some board that I can't miss. So yeah, that's enough talk. Without further ado, let's get started to unbox this little beast. Oh, this is pretty heavy. I've been holding this for a while, so let's get started. Okay, so now let's take a closer look at the board. It is actually pretty heavy, so you see all the armor both on the front and the back of the board that actually covering all the very stinky stuff. Like you can easily hurt yourself, like when assembling a motherboard, but having these armors totally protect your hand, which is pretty nice for a builder. And also, as we talk about, like it has this huge EK water block here that goes through this port to the other ones. Let's see, how do I get this thing off? Yeah, you just twist it off, and then you connect your tube into this. I think this is, oh, there's no EK logo on it. I think the previous generation does, but I think it's also to have it, greatly aligned with the white aesthetic. Just to be clear, like this board, you also can use it without the custom water cooling, custom loop, because these VRAMs will passively cool as well. So if you just use an AIO on this, it's totally fine. But one thing you have to be really clear for the Asus board is that, you see that the mounting screws right here is really close to the memory modules. So if you have a relative like the Kraken Z73, it has a huge pump that the diameter of the pump is actually going to cause you some problems, some clearance problems while installing your memory module if you have 4 of them. So just something to be clear. It is really well built, and you see the RGB definitely lighting up in here. But it's only lighting up this part, so it's like some holes on the armor, and then light will glow through it, so it give you like the ROG logo here, which is pretty cool. So let's look at some of the ports here. So we have some fan connectors on the top right here, debugging code here, which tells you what's wrong with the board. And we have a retry button, we have a start button, and the flex key button. So according to their manual, the flex key, what it does is actually it helps you to, embed like custom features into this button, so that if you, like for example, if you want to safe boot your, board with safe boot your board like by default, you can just code it into this button, so that when you press this button, it's going to restart your system and also reboot with safe boot. So that's some pretty nice features for overclockers. And the 24 pin here, and here's an extra 8 pin to give you extra power for your CPU. And here we have the USB connectors to your case, and we have like 6 SATA ports, and here's another USB connectors. And down here we have like 3 RGB connectors, 1 4-pin, 2 3-pins. This is 12 volts, this is 2 5 volts. And we have some 3 additional fan connectors right down here, and 2 USB ports. And we have the pump connector, and we also have the flow indicators, of course. And here's some the power LEDs, and the also the switch to your motherboard. So yeah, I think it's a pretty nice board. And right here, that's what, as I talked about earlier, it has the this is actually not that small, so it's actually huge. You can definitely see monitor some of your hardware temperatures or status from this LCD screen, so it's pretty cool. And taking a look at the ports on the boards, we have the BIOS flash button, we have clear CMOS. We also have an integrated HDMI to connect to use your Intel CPU's built-in graphics. So we have 2 Thunderbolt ports. We have some USB 2.0 and USB 3.0 right here. Yeah, on the back it also looks really well. I just really like the attention to the details. Looking at the back of the motherboards, it's also having the formula logo here, and also the ROG big eye here, which is pretty cool. And yeah, here's the okay. Also, this feature I haven't talked about earlier. So The previous generations, we see that it's really hard to get graphics card out. It's going to be a hassle, and sometimes it will damage your card if you like stick your, you know, you have to do this, right? Like to stick your screwdrivers in there to get it actually open, and it can damage your PCI slot, and it can also damage your graphics card's backplate. So having this button in here, they should have invented this a lot earlier, and if you press this button, boom, this lock will open and you can take your graphics card out with ease. This is a really nice design. I think that this is, you know, a change of life design if you want to swap your hardware most often. So yeah, here's my first impression on the LG Crosshair Formula boards. It's a really nice looking board, and I'm going to install it on my girlfriend's PC, which she's doing like an all-white build, and right now she's using a Crosshair Dark Hero, which, you know, the Dark Hero doesn't integrate well with the white theme, but this one definitely do. So yeah, this is my first impression on the boards. If I make some mistakes, feel free to correct it on my comments down below. And again, thanks for your time watching my video. If you like this video, hit subscribe and, you know, button down there. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.